Hi, everybody. My name is Jamille Hawkins. I am the University of Georgia Family and Consumer Sciences agent for DeKalb County. And for this week, we're going to be talking about preventing portion distortion. This is for our series with the DeKalb County Public Library System for Commit to Be Fit 2021. That's not just physically fit, that's mentally fit, that is your holistic whole well-being for yourself. So for this week, we're doing preventing portion distortion, as I said. The author for this is my wonderful coworker, Georgianne Cook from Washington County. The PowerPoint was provided by Rachel Stewart from Tatnall County and Taylor Dolsack, which is a GSU dietetics intern. And once again, my name is Jamille Hawkins. I'm with DeKalb County, and there's my email down below. It will be shown at the end of the presentation as well if you have any questions that you wanted to discuss with me. So for the overview of this class, we're going to be teaching you how to eat healthy, well-balanced meals and to avoid portion distortion. So the goal is to give you the tools needed to eat a healthy diet and avoid consuming more calories than what we need. Some of the new vocabulary that we're going to be talking about that you may or may not have heard of is trans fat, which is trans unsaturated fatty acids. It's a type of unsaturated fat that is double trouble for your heart health, Next is serving size. Is a standardized amount of food. This may be used to quantify recommended amounts or present quantities that people typically eat. So the amount of food that people usually eat. And then next is portion size, which is the amount of food that you choose to eat. This can be more or less than a serving size. So let me move my monitor down. I think I'm blocking. Okay. So the importance of portion control. Healthy eating helps prevent chronic diseases such as obesity, heart disease, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. If we do not pay attention to the size of our portions, we might end up consuming more calories than what we need, which can lead to weight gain. Just eating an extra 100 calories a day can add an extra 10 pounds per year. And so the USDA gives us the MyPlate to help us control portions and get the healthy nutrients we need. And you can visit that website at www.choosemyplate.gov. Now we're going to watch a video that is kind of an activity of what you think that you're eating as your portion size.
Activity, you will need 2 plates and a bag of chips, box of crackers, or something similar. On one plate, pour out the amount of snack you think one serving would be. Next, look at the nutrition facts label on the package. Towards the top of the label, you should see the serving size. For this bag in the video, the serving size is 13 chips. On the second plate, place 1 serving size amount on the plate. So in this video, there'll be 13 chips on the second plate. Now compare the two. Is the actual serving size bigger or smaller than what you thought?
So this is what
you'll need to.
Excuse me. So this is what we mean by portion distortion. What we think that we're eating usually is more than what the suggested serving size is. And so that could lead to excess calories, which we said 100 extra calories a day could lead to a weight gain of 10 extra pounds a year. So for serving sizes, the new nutritional facts labels will help us more easily identify the number of servings in our food. Be sure to pay attention to the servings per container as well as the serving size as well. So I have a question for you. Do you think portion sizes have changed over the past 20 years? If you're 20 years old now, you probably won't know. But if you're a little bit older than that, then you will, how do you think that has affected us? So how portion sizes have changed over the years. Over time, the portions in the United States have gotten much bigger. Compare portion sizes from 20 years ago with today's portions, and you will see that how the extra calories add up. So 20 years ago, they were only 3-inch bagels, but today we have 6-inch bagels. And so 20 years ago, the bagel is 140 calories. Today, the bagel is now 350 calories, but we still eat both sides of the bagel. So how many more calories is that? That is 210 more calories than it was 20 years ago. The same goes for sodas as well. So 6.5 ounces of soda was the portion that they gave 20 years ago, which was 85 calories. And now it's a 20-ounce soda, which is 250 calories. And so that's 165 more calories. The same goes for 2 slices of pizza. It's have added 350 more calories, and also a box of popcorn, which has added 360 more calories. So 20 years ago compared to today's portions, we have added more calories, but we still eat the same amount. And so it just adds more calories to what we have been eating. So here's a visual of what that looks like. So 20 years ago, a burger was only 333 calories, but now a burger is 590 calories. And so that's 257 more calories. So lifting weights for 1 hour and 30 minutes burns approximately 257 calories. That's based on a person that is 130 pounds. But that just gives you an estimate of the type of activities that we should be doing in order to get rid of that extra calories that we've been intaking. So if you just want to look at this for a little bit, I know that having a visual to see what things look like kind of help people more, so that they're able to understand like, oh yeah, so it was smaller, but now it's a little bit bigger. And so, you kind of wonder why you have gained weight. And here's one of the reasons. The sizes have only gotten bigger, but we've been eating the same amount.
In the next few slides, we are going to discuss the daily recommended intake.
Excuse me. So the daily recommended intakes, many people get too many calories and not enough of the healthy foods and nutrients that we need. So My Plate recommends that you get the following based on 2,000 calorie per day diet. Everybody is different, so not everyone needs exactly 2,000 calories a day, but some people may need more and some people may need less. It depends on the physical activity that you do during the day. It depends on your just overall health. It depends on what you and your doctor have discussed. So that is just something that you need to take into account as well. So daily recommended intake of fruit is to eat 2 cups per day. Most fruits are naturally low in calories, fat, and sodium, so that's good. So fruits have no cholesterol and are sources of many of the essential nutrients that we need that include potassium, dietary fibers, vitamin C, folic acids. So next is the daily recommended intake of vegetables. And so My Plate or the USDA recommends that we eat 2.5 cups per day. And so eating vegetables and fruits that are rich in potassium can help you lower your blood pressure. It can reduce your risk of developing kidney stones, and it can also help decrease bone loss as well. So since vegetables are lower in calories per cup than many other foods, consuming more of them can help you lower your daily caloric intake. And because a lot of those foods are higher in fiber as well, your body doesn't burn them off as quickly, and so you feel full for longer. So here's the daily recommended intake for grains. They recommend that you eat 6 ounces of grains per day, and you want to make sure that half of those are considered whole grains. Grains are important sources of nutrients that include your dietary fiber. Dietary fiber can help reduce blood cholesterol levels and may lower the risk of heart disease, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. You will also get your B vitamins, which is thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, and folate, and then also some minerals such as iron, magnesium, and selenium. So here's some of your daily recommended intake of protein as well. So they recommend that you eat 5.5 ounces per day. So good sources of protein include meat, poultry, fish, dry beans and peas, eggs, and nuts and seeds. And so a lot of people believe that protein only comes from meat or poultry or fish. But if you are vegan or vegetarian of sorts, you can still get a lot of good protein from dry beans and peas and nuts and seeds as well. They supply many important nutrients such as your B vitamins, vitamin E, iron, zinc, and magnesium. And then also proteins are the building blocks for your bones, your muscles, your cartilage, your skin, and your blood. So it's very important that you get your protein intake per day, even if you are not eating meat. So here's your daily recommended intake of dairy. They recommend that you eat 3 cups per day. Dairy products are very important for your bone health, especially during childhood and adolescence where your bone mass is being built. So that's for the younger children, but it doesn't stop at just adolescence as well. So eating dairy is associated with reduced risk in cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, and type 2 diabetes. So here are some of the visuals of the portion sizes that we've been talking about, so that we can know what to do, and you don't have to have these particular items. We can just use our hand. So our hand is going to be one of the ways that we're going to visualize some of our portion sizes. So 1 cup is a baseball, and an average size fist are about equal to 1 cup. This is a good portion size for vegetables and fruits. So if you don't have a baseball around the house or wherever you are, you can use your hand. So an average fist, so the size of your fist right here is going to equal 1 cup. And so what do we say? We need about 3 cups of vegetables or fruits. So then that's gonna be 3 fistfuls of fruits and or vegetables. So half a cup is a tennis ball or a small handful, are about half a cup. This equals to 1 ounce equivalents of grains, rice, pasta, and oatmeal. So if you don't have a tennis ball laying around, then you can just use your hand. And so it's gonna be what fills in a small handful of, is gonna be half a cup. So 3 ounces is a deck of cards or the palm of your hand that equals 3 ounces. This is a good portion size for fish, beef, chicken, and other meat. So if you don't have a deck of cards laying around, just look at your hand and it's going to be the palm of your hand. So this section right here is going to equal about 3 ounces. Next is 1 tablespoon. A size of your thumb is equal to a tablespoon. So this equals a good measure for peanut butter or other nut butters. So the size of your thumb right here, size of your thumb. Next is 1 teaspoon, which is the size of a stamp or the tip of your index finger. This is a good portion size for oils and other fats. So that is right here, that first notch of your index finger or the size of a stamp. So what you should limit in your diet, if you are used to the pyramid, the food pyramid that we had, but is now have converted into the My Plate, the part at the top where it had the smaller triangle is where we would have the smaller limits of what you want to limit within your diet. We don't have that anymore in the My Plate, but this is something that you should be aware of is saturated fats, trans fats, added sugars, and sodiums. These are the items that will cause you damage more to your health in the long run. This is saturated fats. According to the American Heart Association, saturated fats are simply fat molecules that have no double bonds between carbon molecules because they are saturated with hydrogen molecules. So that is the scientific version of, or the scientific definition of what saturated fats are. So saturated fats are typically solid at room temperature. That's how you can be able to see visually the types of fats that you have within your home. So they're typically solid at room temperature. They are found in butter, cheese, red meat, and other animal-based foods. In addition, many baked goods and fried foods can contain high levels of saturated fat as well. Less than 10% of your daily calories should come from saturated fats. And if you want to switch to unsaturated fats, it would be like an olive oil or canola oil instead of butter or a Crisco or that type of saturated fat. And so that's just a visual of what you can find within your home that you'll know that you should probably try to limit or avoid altogether. What you should limit: trans fats. Trans fats come mostly from partially hydrogenated oils that are used to increase the shelf life of foods or improve texture or taste. So these fats can be very bad for our hearts, and trans fats can be found in baked goods, processed foods, and margarine. So these are the types of fats that you also want to limit and try to avoid in your day-to-day life if you can. Next is you want to limit added sugars. So less than 10% of your daily calories should come from added sugars. Added sugars are those added to foods specifically to sweeten them or for an added texture or a better texture. You want to limit added sugar by using nutrition labels to choose foods and choosing fewer processed foods. Next, the natural sugars in fruits, some vegetables, and dairy foods are a healthier choice with lots of vitamins and minerals. And what you should limit, another is sodium. So limit to less than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day. You want to eat at home more, and restaurants tend to be higher in salt. That's why a lot of professionals recommend that you eat at home more, because you are able to monitor how much sodium has been added in your food. Instead of when you go to restaurants, they tend to just have foods that are higher in salt. And you don't even realize it because it tastes like restaurant quality food. So you want to choose low sodium and no salt added canned vegetables and beans. So eating your vegetables are still good, even if it is canned, but you want to look for the options that have the low sodium or no salt added. And if you do have a canned vegetable that you just so happen to pick up and it has the normal, it's just regular, you can rinse them off under running water, and that will get rid of some of that extra sodium as well. Incorporating different types of spices instead of salt when cooking as well. There's a variety of spices out there, and you can use them to bring flavor into your food and limit the salt that you're intaking at home. So remember that cooking at home and consuming less processed or packaged food can help you limit these unhealthy additives. So in summary, we just want you to be able to read your nutritional facts label. Remember that the recommended daily intakes for each of the food groups. Visualize your portion sizes using your hand, and limit saturated and trans fats, added sugar, and sodium in your diet. This might seem like a lot all at once if you try to implement all these different things that you have just learned all at once. So just start by starting small. Sometimes you can just, when you are in the grocery store, just looking at the back of the nutritional facts label and being able to compare two different products and choosing the lower sodium or choosing the lower sugar option might help more. And then once you have mastered reading the nutritional facts label, then you can move on to visualizing your portion sizes by using your hand and being able to find what a cup looks like, what a half cup looks like, what an ounce looks like, so that you are able to do that just effortlessly without even having to think about it. So starting step by step will help you be able to implement all these different things that you've learned into your daily life without making you feel like you are overwhelmed. So at the end of this video, we're going to have an evaluation that I hope that you will be able to fill out. It's only a couple of minutes. It will only take a couple of minutes, 2 minutes. so that I can get feedback on what I should be doing better for you all. And if you have any more questions, my name is Jamille Hawkins again. I am the University of Georgia Family and Consumer Sciences Agent for DeKalb County. My email is Jamille, Jamille, period, Hawkins, HAWKINS, @uga.edu. And thank you, and I hope you all commit to be fit for 2021.